This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Good Tuesday morning. For those you don't know, our 1190 is down. These ignorant son of a bitches are doing some demolition across from the radio station, and they dug into the phone line, so I hope you people know you can't hear me on 1190. I just hope from days past that you know if you can't hear me on 1190, you can always go to 1430 and vice versa, because we simulcast my show on both stations. So I hope all of you are listening on 1430. We're getting it fixed, but you know, things like that happen, and we're not going to apologize for it because it wasn't our fault. Some idiot dug up the lines, but they're working on it now and should be back up tomorrow. I gotta say, this election, the next 4 years, I think it's going to make history. I think Trump is going to be one hell of a good president. I think the economy is going to get better. I think everything's going to get better. If these asswipe, and if it was Republicans being the asswipe bastards, I'd say Republicans. But these Democrats, Trump hasn't even been sworn in office yet. And everybody's bitching about what he's saying, what he's doing. Hell, I'd reach out to all these foreign countries. I don't give a damn if they're our friends or enemies. Trump talked to the president or the prime minister, whatever the hell you called it, in Taiwan. All the Democrats making a big deal. Oh, Trump shouldn't. You know, you guys kiss all their asses, will you? And I'm tired of this hypocritical crap, and we're going to get into St. Clair County hypocritical politics here momentarily. But Trump's going to give Ben Carson a cabinet position. You know how bad Trump talked about Ben Carson, they say, on the liberal stations? You know how bad Carson talked about Trump, don't you? Well, you go back to 2008. Nobody talked worse than Obama than that skank Hillary Clinton, and nobody talked worse about Clinton than that ignorant bastard Obama. And I'm not calling him ignorant because he's black. And hey, people, my enemies, I get calls, people on the street, watch out, they're going to get you. I get emails, hate emails. If somebody wants to get me, just come and get me. You know what I drive? I drive that clown car. You know, let me tell you people one thing. I fight Kern and Sprague. After my son passed, I'm a dead man walking. I'm a dead man walking because I don't give a damn. Don't give a damn about these politics. Don't give a damn about the elections. I give a damn about destruction. I give a damn about destroying the St. Clair County democratic culture of corruption. And until they destroy me, I'll be fighting every day. This Mark, the big faggot Kern and Bob, I'd rather piss in my pants and piss in the urinal of Sprague and his bunch of ass-wipe, no-count, good-for-nothing son of a bitches up there. These hypocritical, no-count bastards. And speaking of hypocritical, no-count bastards, guess what happened yesterday? Lots of people, lots of Democrats got arrested. Lots of Democrats got arrested. And hey guys, Mike Crockett, your guy, Kern, you idiot, you bastard, you hypocritical faggot. Border Review member from St. Clair County, Michael Crockett, was booked Monday at the St. Clair County Jail. Charges against him. Now, this is one of Kern's boys that was out election day getting him all the votes. No, Bob Romanik's the bad son of a bitch. You got 19 hit pieces out on me. See, Kern, Sprague, the people of St. Clair County, they're not stupid. I think they should be pissed because you think they're that stupid. But here's Mike Crockett, 55, of Millstadt, charged with official misconduct and bribery for allegedly acting in his official capacity with the intent to obtain a personal advantage for himself or another. I think that's what you call cash, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. He formed an act of excess of his lawful authority. Then he exchanged in U.S. currency, assisted in reducing property taxes. Now, that's the culture of corruption I'm talking about, people. Your property taxes don't get decreased. Even if you paid them, they wouldn't decrease your property taxes because that's what they need to pay all these ass-white bastards to get them jobs, all the committeemen, all these stupid bastards. And Edith Moore, another big East St. Louis committeeman, or used to be, she lost her ass, faces 3 counts of forgery and voting violations. Couldn't happen to a nicer bitch. And I had my guys down in East St. Louis saying, you can't call the black people bitches, the women get mad. I refrained during the election because I didn't want to hurt the rest of the candidates on a ticket, but I'll say bitch anytime I want. And Edith Moore is a skanky bitch. She was the city manager, doesn't even have a high school education. What an idiot. What an idiot she is. And Edith, anything you get, you deserve, if you know what I mean. And I think you do, Edith. I think it's a long time coming for you. I think payback's the son of a bitch. But do you people understand? Now, here's a good one. Here's one that you heard me talk about, and I'm kind of disappointed in Brendan Kelly. Remember Joanne Reed, the former mayor of Allerton, the disgraced mayor of Allerton, who smuggled things into the jail? She was convicted of a felony, had to resign as mayor of Allerton. But Brendan and the judges up there made special treatment for her, special dispensation. As long as she stayed out of trouble for 2 years, it'd all be expunged from her record. And guess what? Last year, not even a year ago, it was expunged. Now here, Joanne Reed, former mayor of Allerton, charged with knowingly giving or promising to give money to another person to vote or to influence the person to vote for or against any candidate or ballot in question. She also accused of electioneering within 100 feet of the polls. Oh, listen to this, though. All these charges are eligible for probation under Illinois law. Eligible. That doesn't mean they have to get probation. But see, Brendan Kelly, and I like Brendan, but they go steal all these votes for the Democrats year after year after year because they know they're going to get a slap on the hand. Why don't we make it a felony? Why don't you ass-wipe no-count bastards in Springfield, LaToya Green? Well, no, you can't do that, LaToya. Then your daddy and Charlie Powell and everybody would be in jail. Going to make it a misdemeanor. Well, it really doesn't say. It says charges are eligible for probation under the Illinois law. Maybe they're felonies, but hell, Joanne Reed's had felonies, convicted of felonies, pled out to felonies, was a convicted felon, and whoof, the record erasing police came down and erased all of her record. Now, Brendan Kelly, I hope you don't have it in you to give this skank another pass. You wouldn't give anybody else a pass. But, oh, I forgot. She's a big vote getter. Check the votes she got in Centerville Township in Allerton on November the 8th. See, that's why the Democrats never want to make this a serious charge, people. And that's okay if it's an East St. Louis election. That's okay if it's an Allerton election. That's okay if it's an election below the hill, even in Cahokia. But you good people in the outer county, both Democrats, Republican, men and women, you guys suffer for it. But do you see the pattern now? the pattern that Kern said that we were the bad guys running against them, and they were clean, they were nice. These are all his people. The Democratic committeemen, Edith Moore, Mike Crockett, endorsed, took money from Kern. And Kern, in fact, took money from County Board member Michael Crockett. I'll get the records. Guarantee you, Michael Crockett. Now, what do you think? Mark the big faggot Kern? Your people are selling their offices. The good Democratic machine. No, it is what I said and said in the past and will say in the future. The Democratic culture of corruption. I don't see one Republican in this whole group. And I'm not pimping for the Republicans. I see a lot of politicians in East St. Louis. I see a lot of politicians in Allerton, politicians in Washington Park. And that's where we got screwed. And that's where the good people of St. Clair County get screwed every election. I think Brendan probably did this. And again, I like the man. Nice family man. The feds got involved, and I think Brendan said, hey, I got to go along with this program. I don't hear Kern's name or Sprague's name in here because, see, they're like I said. They tell the people in East St. Louis, we don't give a damn how you get those votes, just get us elected. And every year, 2 or 3 or 4 of the members of the St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption go to jail. I'm sorry, get charged with voting violations, voting fraud, vote buying. They never seem to go to jail in St. Clair County. But let somebody that's not in the political clique, let somebody that's not in the St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption do something wrong, and they'll go down for the count. County board member, Democratic County board member Michael Crockett, booked for selling his office. Unbelievable, people. We see it every day in St. Clair County. When are things going to change? Brendan Kelly. The allegations represent an old and cynical way of thinking. Brendan, that's how you and all your fellow Democrats get elected every time. Don't be a hypocrite. Please do not be a hypocrite, Brendan. It doesn't become you. The people's trust in our public institution is frayed. This is Brendan Kelly, a Democrat in St. Clair County, the state's attorney, saying the people's trust in our public institution is frayed. No, it's non-existent, Brendan. It's not frayed. That means when you got a shirt that's frayed, you can still wear it. It's still useful. It's just frayed around the edges. No, this corrupt organization in St. Clair County, the St. Clair County Democratic Central Committee, it's not frayed. It's non-existent. It's destroyed. And for you to say that, but our best hope has been and still is in the law. And it is by following the law, both what is easy and when it is hard, that we can move forward. Well, Brendan, I hope you practice what you preach. And if you do, they'll throw your ass out of the corrupt Democratic organization. I don't believe he really wants to be there anyway. It's a shame. It's a shame, people of St. Clair County. You've got another 4 years of this corrupt crap, and it's just started. And you people in East St. Louis, don't call me again for turkeys and hams and can I help somebody out. Call Kern, call Sprague. You stupid bastards down there, get what you deserve. And I don't just mean black. There's white in Cahokia that lost the election, that listened to these bastards that took $5, $10 for a snook in some muscatel wine or a blunt. You people are the one going to have to suffer. You made your own bed. Remember Mama telling you, you made your own bed. You got to lie in it. And you guys are going to be lying in it for a long time. On the flip side, again, I want to commend Kurt Prenzler, the Madison County new board chairman. Brad Leviti is back in his county administration office in the county building. Leviti was a veteran who worked for the Veteran Administration Commission. He was barred from entering the county administration building since March 2015 when he had a mental breakdown. He had a mental breakdown, and hell, I've had a couple of them, and you people are probably ready to have them. His doctors attributed to post-traumatic stress disorder relating to his combat service. Do you hear me, people? His combat service. And this no-good son of a bitch, Al Dunstan, wouldn't let him back to the Madison County Courthouse. And Al Dunstan, I think that's one of the major reasons you lost. I think all the vets were against you. And I hope when you run for township supervisor, wherever the hell your snaky ass is laid out, I hope they vote you out of that office. But anyway, Kurt Prenzler, a good man, brought Brad Leviti back to this Madison County Courthouse, back in his office. And I want to salute you. And I think all the veterans want to salute Kurt Prenzler for all he did to show that our veterans mean something to us, that our veterans are worth working with. You know, this Brad Leviti, because of combat service. How much combat service have you had, Alan Dunstan? Probably the biggest service you had is wiping your ass and your finger going through the toilet paper. That's probably the only combat service you've ever had, you stupid son of a bitch. And feel free to call me, Alan Dunstan, you no-count rotten bastard. Charlie Powell, there's another one. Charlie Powell, another one of Kern's boys. Charlie Powell's the one who went to jail a few years back, and I believe it was for a Federal Clean Air Act and one other time for vote fraud. Oh, vote fraud, Charlie Powell. You check the votes that he got, Kern, in the last election. You check the votes that he got, the St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption. And now he's on the front page. They're accusing him of being an arsonist. But he said he ain't no arsonist. He wouldn't torch anything. Hell, that sounds like that to me. That sounds like arsonist talk. And the election goes on. Ron the Dildo Dupert. He was sworn in yesterday, and he had his elite group of self-righteous idiots from O'Fallon who call themselves the St. Clair County Republican Party. You know, the chairman, Doug Jamison, the stupid bastard that owed $100,000 to child support, the stupid bastard that was charged with 2 or 3 counts of domestic violence. And you know what that is. 2 or 3 DUIs. He was so ashamed he tried to get them taken care of. Bar Viviano, the stinkiest, skankiest bitch I've ever met in my life. What a two-faced bitch she is. She walks around like she's somebody. And then there's Mary Turdman, who doesn't have a pot to piss in, but she acts like she's a big shot. These are all, quote, respectable Republican conservative people. You're that conservative, you're that Republican, and you support Ron Dupert. You know Ron Dupert. That's the idiot who was charged with groping a young black man, conning him to get in the car with Dupert. Grope him, allegedly, and it's in the newspaper, he was charged, allegedly groping a black man, a young black man, and asking the young black man, what does it do, or what does it take to make it hard? Now, that's a sitting judge in St. Clair County. That's a sitting judge that Doug Jamison, Barb Viviano, Mary Turdman, the elitists from O'Fallon, the St. Clair County Republican organization, they were right there getting pictures taken with him. Hey, don't sit down at the dinner table at Thanksgiving or Christmas if there's turkey on the plate, because if you like dark meat, you ain't going to get it, because Ron the Dildo Dupert, he loves to eat dark meat, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. And I think the younger the turkey, the better, if you know what I mean. Also, Dupert, I want to ask, is it true? I've been told from reliable sources that he had a boyfriend who was a felon, who was down, I believe, in either federal prison in Marion or state prison in Chester. I think it was Marion. He used to visit all the time. He told all of his friends he's going down there and visit his quote, friend. Now, his friend just got out of prison, I was told, from good sources. And I was also told that the probation office came by Judge Dupert's house because his little boyfriend, and guarantee he's black, his little boyfriend, the felon, is living with him in Country Club, in the Country Club area. Is that true, Dupert? I believe it to be true. You can't be a sitting judge and you're living with a boyfriend that's a felon. You probably put him up somewhere else. But this is what we have. This is what St. Clair County has become. Talk about Trump talking about a cesspool. I'll be damned. There's no bigger cesspool than St. Clair County, Illinois. To have the politicians we have, politicians stealing the votes, that's probably what got the Democrats elected. Joanne Reed, Mike Crockett. They're two of the many, many that got caught. What about all the other ones that didn't get caught? But this election, this political crap, doesn't it really make you sick? Decent people? You know it does. You say you can't do anything about it, but you can. It's going to take time. But the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, we're still on the move. And also on the move, and the website's just about up. We've got the National Association for Majority Equality. Now, I'm tired of some of you black guys telling me that it's racist. It's not racist. I and many others is white, is the majority. All we want is equal treatment. We don't want any more. We will never ask for any more. But we will not tolerate any less. And see, some of the, not the proud blacks, they understand because they went through this fight. The asswipe, no good, greasy, sleazy black bastards and greasy, sleazy white bastards, they don't want the whites to come together. Because then the whites start thinking, and I've heard it at the restaurants, at the coffee shops, every place I go, Romanik, you're right. I said, well, stand up. Stand up and be counted. Well, you know, I got a job here. I got to do this. I don't know. Well, if you don't stand up, they're going to keep knocking you down. And I don't say that on the racial end. I'm not for any violence whatsoever. But I'm for equality. I'm proud. I'm proud to be a lifetime member of the NAACP. They probably yanked my membership by now, but hell, me and some of my friends were lifetime members a long time ago. And I believe in their organization. Sometimes they overdo it. Sometimes they underdo it. But I believe everyone, they have their organization. Why can't the white society have their organization? Just yesterday, I believe it was, the Black Announcers Awards over in St. Louis. Now, I've never heard of a white announcer. Of course, I never would have got one, but some white guy would have got one of them some bitches. You never hear of any of that. And I don't want to rehash it all, but we always hear there's a black caucus in Congress. Boy, let there someone try to start a white caucus. Look at me. I'm trying to start an organization to get equal treatment for everybody. Equal treatment for everyone, regardless of race. And some people are getting upset about it. Some of the blacks are upset again. You heard me yesterday. Trump got elected. He got elected. The whites finally came out. That's the problem. But now you look at a lot of these protests. Most of them are black. There's whites mingled into the crowd. But it's like if a black doesn't get, not all blacks. Now, I'm going to pigeonhole a few of these son of a bitches. If they don't get what they want, whether it be an election, whether it be a jury trial, whether it be an arrest, if they don't get what they want, that's when the riot starts. That's when the picket starts. That's when the shutting the highways down starts. That's when the looting starts. That's when the burning and destruction starts. So you know what you're supposed to learn from that? Primarily white people. Don't question them. Let them get away with it, because it'll get worse. Well, I say in any war, I mean a political war, not a violent war. And this is a political war. In any political war, it's going to get worse before it gets better. There's going to be political casualties. There's going to be people that get their feelings hurt. There's going to be people that really get pissed. But see, that's just the way it is. We can't have it both ways. We're either all going to live in a free society or none of us are going to live in a free society. We are America's voice of freedom, definitely the Patriot. Call toll-free 1-888-394-1430. On the east side, 394-1190. Feel free to call. We're going to talk about East St. Louis and the way the proud black people are treated and the hypocrisy of politicians who want the black vote but do nothing else but let them survive until the next election. Feel free to call in, people, black or white. You can argue with me. You white people, get off your ass. I'm not saying anything you guys ain't said in every restaurant, every coffee shop, every family meeting, every poker game. Get off your ass. Don't be hypocrites. Let me know, both black and white. Let me know the way you feel. Because in this country, you've got every right. If you're a racist, black or white, you've got every right to be a racist. I don't agree with it, but you got every right. I've got every right to be and say and do what I want to do, as so do you. As long as you're holding your convictions close to you and you believe in your convictions, then you need to fight. Not literally, politically, to get those situations intact. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ, 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ, 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio. And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ, 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ, 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, your guardian of the First Amendment, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Excuse me, I got a little cold here. We're going to do our housekeeping. We're going to get back to that because we like to help the community whenever we can. This comes from Harold Vanderbog. He's a proud, proud member of the Patriot Guard Riders. Those are the guys that assist all these veterans' funerals. Great bunch of guys. Not the best looking guys. I've seen some of them that are a little scruffy, but you know what? I didn't give a damn what they looked like when they were over there protecting me and my family against terrorists. So I don't give a damn what they look like driving down the street on their motorcycles. I respect and love those guys dearly. But Mr. Van Bogg says, I am a member of the Patriot Guard Riders, and I want to bring to your attention something that you can help us with. Almost every time we escort a fallen veteran in his final resting place, a vehicle not in the funeral procession decides to cut in between the procession because they suddenly realize their exit is coming up. This is extremely dangerous and against the law. Would you please consider a PSA about this during your program? I sure will, Harold, and here it goes. All the Illinois and Missouri Patriot Guard Riders would be extremely thankful. No, I'm extremely thankful for all you guys did for our great country. Harold Vanderbog, CPO, United States Navy. And Harold, I want to salute you for your valiant service to our great country and all your comrades in the Patriot Guard Riders. You guys are a great group of guys. They take their time out to do that, to show respect for their fallen brothers and sisters. And so you guys, when you see a procession, whether it's for the Patriot Guards taking a proud vet to his final resting place, or just anybody, pull to the side of the road. Take a minute off, will you? Because it's better that you take a minute off pulling to the side of the road than you be the one that they're pulling over to the side of the road for. A-Night Shriners of Southern Illinois, their Altwood Shrine Club annual Christmas tree sales, been going on for 50 years, are located at 231 East Edwardsville Road in Wood River. Get by there, early selection, reasonable rates. I guess they'll be selling them right up until Christmas time. And also, our great Shriners, Breakfast with Santa, Saturday, December the 10th from 9:30 to 11:30 at the Scottish Rites in Belleville. Breakfast will be served, crafts for the kids, special treats for good boys and girls. That'll be held Saturday, December the 10th at the Scottish Rite in Belleville on Scott Parkway. The International Brotherhood of Magicians, Ring 1, having their Veterans and First Responders Tribute Magical Holiday Shop. That'll be held at the Kirkwood Community Theater, 111 South Gower Road in Kirkwood on Sunday, December the 11th. Any questions or concerns, you can contact, where's the number here? 314-669-6650. Don't forget, you can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and or the Grim Reaper of Radio. You can go to our streaming site, insanebroadcasting.com. One word, common spelling for the best of all three of our stations. And if sometimes one of our stations are down because of phone line problems, you can always stream us on insanebroadcasting.com. Listen to my repeat performance every day, Monday through Friday, at 4 o'clock p.m. on KZQZ and at 5 o'clock p.m. on KQQZ, because I'm preempted by Michael Savage, the great Michael Savage, on KQQZ. And also, now you can listen to my show every night at the stroke of midnight as I'm broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard shift every night at the stroke of midnight. Please like us on Facebook at KQQZ 1190 AM or KZQZ 1430 AM. Go to my personal Facebook page, Fans of the Grim Reaper. And as always, do not forget the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition on Facebook. And we will be starting our Facebook page for NAME, the National Association for, listen people, Majority Equality. On this date, December 6th, 1492, Christopher Columbus discovered what is now known as Haiti. On this date, December the 6th, 1768, the first edition of the Encyclopedia Britannica was published in Scotland. On this date, December the 6th, 1790, Congress moved from New York to Philadelphia. On this date, December 6th, 1884, Army engineers completed construction of the Washington Monument 36 years after work began. On this date, December 6, 1902, Martha Washington was the first United States woman to have her likeness appearing on a U.S. stamp. On this date, December 6, 1922, a government message was broadcast on the radio for the first time. On this date, December 6, 1923, President Coolidge made the first official presidential radio broadcast. On this date, December 6, 1924, the United States Border Patrol was organized. Great date for me and all you ignorant sumbitches out there that can't cook, men and women. On this date, December 6, 1945, the microwave was patented. And on this day, for all of us who can cook and like pizza, on this date, December 6, 1960, Domino's Pizza was founded by Thomas S. Monahan. That's what happened on this date, December 6th, throughout all these years in our world's history. We've got a caller. Let's go ahead and take a caller, too. Go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side.
Bob, Forrest Chapman, good morning to you. And I just want to call make a comment on this black and white situation.
Uh-huh.
And I respect anybody who respects me and who treats me fair. I will treat them fair and go out of my way to do it. You call me a honky, and I'll call you a nigger. That's all there is to that.
That sounds fair to me.
And I'll tell you what, if I knew where Karen Casey lived, I'd send her a dozen damn roses because she's a stand-up woman. And call officer, I respect people. Color don't matter. I worked with a lot of them and had good friends that were colored. I don't say black, I say colored. It's what I've always said. I'm 83 years old. That's the way I was taught to say it years ago. But anyway, it's just getting to the point where you can't walk anywhere without somebody making some comment to one way or the other, and that just causes more friction. I don't know why in the heck people can't get it together and make this country a better place to live. It's the best country in the world. We can make it better with Trump's help, which I voted for, and I'm dang proud of that.
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute, Forrest. Now, you get a lot of blacks mad at you because you voted for Trump. Let me ask you in parting, Forrest. You're 83 years old. Are you a proud white man?
You know how that is.
Hey.
But anyway.
Are you a proud white man?
Yeah, people have to stand up for what's right, not what color they are.
Forrest, answer me a question. Are you a proud white man?
Yes, I am.
Well, let me hear it.
I'm a proud white man. I'll stand that way forever.
Thank you.
And I'll stand by a proud black man.
That's right. And I was just going to make the same comment. A proud black man I'd stand behind any time. I'd stand alongside any time. Never stand in front of any man. But Forrest, here's the problem. You get these no-count, low-life, young son of a bitches, both black and white, 20, 25 years old, that have never wanted for anything. The government, the government, has supported them, give them food, give them housing, give them clothing, give them an education. But they want to get pissed off because they don't get everything they want. They don't get a jury verdict, or they don't get a situation, an elected official, and they're going to go out and loot and rob. And I tell you, Forrest, I was mad when Obama got elected. I should have went out and burned something down and got me a television or two. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could use a new one too, Bob.
Hey, Forrest, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate the call. And that's the problem, people. We got to stand up for ourselves. There's a lot of, like Forrest said, I'm sure he's not a racist. I'm far from being a racist. But if you think that I get pissed and somebody gives me crap and use racial slurs towards me, that I sit there and take it, are you nuts? And you people don't do it either, both black and white. My black friends understand. The proud black community understands, just like the proud white community understands. But see, we can't talk about some problems. And I say it all the time, if we don't talk about cancer, if we don't address that problem of cancer, if we act like it's not there, you're going to die from it. And we're going to die from this race relations if we don't get it set. But people, let me tell you, I want equal treatment as a white man. I don't want any more, but I will not tolerate or accept any less. And I've said before, if that makes me a racist, it's just a racist. I want to thank Dennis Shorts, STORTZ Storts, Dennis Storts from Waterloo. He says he loves Bob and the Grim Reaper program. I like to read some of the good things they send to me because I love reading the bad things, because as long as your name's out there, if you're in the radio or television business, it's good. He likes the new format change. Some people like it, some don't. Work with us. If it works out, we'll stay with it. If it doesn't, we'll go right back to country, because we're not committed. We're not committed anywhere. We're going to come back. Lines are always open. We're going to talk about all these groups, primarily black, in all the conferences and rallies they start to stop crime. Are they idiots? They're wasting time and effort. It has to start in the community. It has to start in the home. It has to start in the brain and in the heart and in the gut. Not at some of these stupid meetings. And it's primarily black. They have all these meetings, and as they're having meetings, people are getting killed on the street. And we'll talk about it right after this break. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting at its finest, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio. And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. I want to thank everybody that comes up to me, thanks me, shakes my hand. It's very humbling. Bob, keep up the fight. We're for you. And guess what? It's both black and white. Had a black man yesterday call me and say, Bob, you're totally right. He says, I'm like you. I'm a realist. I know what's going on. You know, nobody's fooled by this racist crap. And remember the 16-year-old black female student. They have a second rally for the NAACP because two ignorant white son of a bitch and punks, my dad called them punks, would call them punks, Told the black gal to get to the back of the bus. Now, I'm sure that devastated her forever. But when the white guy gets the hell beat out of him by four black thugs, four black greasy sheep-screwing thugs over in Soulard, they don't even say that the perpetrators are black. They didn't call that a hate crime. They blow up what some young kid, one white boy says, but they don't do nothing about four black bastards, inbred son of a bitches beating up a white guy. And that's not a racial statement. That's a real statement. It was a racist action by those four black thugs. And speaking of that, the NAACP, they've had meetings. They have all these conferences and rallies I saw on TV last night in their neighborhoods. Let's stop the crime. Crime's got to stop. They've been having those rallies and those conferences for the last 5 years, and black-on-black crime gets worse and worse every day over in St. Louis. Hell, some black guy tried to rob, or did rob, the governor-elect's wife over by St. Louis U yesterday. They didn't say anything about hate crime. Most of these black thugs, they don't have black victims. They have white victims. Now, partially because I guess they think the whites have a little bit more. But there's a lot of hatred in those crimes, and we all know it. But all the black churches yesterday, they all got together, have a conference and a rally to stop crime in their neighborhoods. Well, hell, while they're having a rally, spending that money, the thugs are out robbing their houses and robbing them as they leave the building to try to rally against crime. You guys got to get a grip. You know, these showcase meetings do nothing to stop crime. All they do is rally people, make people feel better about themselves, but that's not what it's about. It's about stopping crime. They do nothing for the poor blacks that are suffering in these violent times. But let me tell you, a lot of it's the blacks' fault. Down in East St. Louis, generation after generation after generation, they don't work. And don't say I'm a racist, I'm a realist. They don't work. They sit on their black asses, and we've got a lot of whites sit on their white asses because their mamas did, their grandmommies did, their great-grandmommies did. You just sit here, the government will take care of you. Well, I'm tired. I'm tired because I am the government. You good people are the government. It's our tax dollars. I'm tired of supporting all these bums, both black and white. Now, I'll never get tired of supporting someone in need, and I will do that the rest of my life. But I am tired, sick and tired, both black and white, popping out babies. Get more money, popping out babies. Get more money. Give me a link card. And that's just not black. That's white, too. Now, the proud blacks know that. They don't want to pay for all this crap. And the whites, they've been paying forever. Now, whites, sit on your ass again. Sit on your ass like you did at election time. And the world will pass you by. You'll be paying for babies popping out, both black and white. And then they'll pop out babies. Who will pop out babies? Do you understand? Do you understand what's going on? We got to put a stop to this. We got to get together, black and white. We got to take politics out of our life. Madigan, he's got control again in Springfield. And guess what? And I'm sure LaToya Greenwood's going to be right there taking her $100,000 a year. Paychecks are coming soon. Susanna Mendoza, the Democrat, supported by Mike Madigan, that greasy, no-count, low-life, old, crouchety, wrinkled jerk from Chicago, and that's what I would have called him if I'd have sit on the House floor. They're going to have their paychecks. Why should the state reps and state senators get their paychecks when we don't have a budget? You don't pay somebody if they don't do their job. Well, these son of a bitchin' state reps, state senators aren't doing their job. They're some of my friends, and none of them are doing their job. It's time we put a stop to it, people. Because if we don't, we're never going to have anything in this state. And that's what this show's about, exposing these low-life, rotten bastards. And we're going to continue. We're going to continue to do it day in and day out. You're not going to hear it here like you hear it every place else. You're going to hear it here. You're going to hear the truth. You're going to hear the way it is, not the way you want to hear it. And if it's not good enough for you, then just don't listen. I'll see you tomorrow Same time, same place. Let's continue to unite, expose, and destroy these political perverted punks, these parasitical punks that we call politicians. Destroy them politically, of course, right here on the dark side.